In a small coastal town of Millbrook, nestled along the rugged English shoreline, Emma Thompson's life was a constant battle against circumstance. The morning sun had barely touched the horizon when she stirred from her worn-out mattress, her body aching from the previous night's double shift at the local factory. Michael, her 10-year-old son, lay sleeping in the corner of their tiny one-bedroom apartment. Threadbare curtains filtered the soft morning light, casting shadows on the boy's peaceful face. Emma watched him for a moment, her heart both heavy with worry and filled with unconditional love. The tiny kitchen told a story of survival. A half-empty jar of jam, a few slices of bread and a tin of cheap beans were the morning's breakfast options. Emma carefully spread the last bit of jam on 2 pieces of bread, wrapping them carefully in brown paper for Michael's school lunch. She knew every penny counted. Her work at the packaging factory was brutal. Hours of standing, lifting heavy boxes, and working in a cold, noisy environment had become her daily reality. The minimum wage barely covered their basic needs. Dreams of becoming a nurse seemed like a distant fantasy, something other people achieved. As Michael woke up, he sensed his mother's tension. "Mum, are you okay?" he asked, his bright eyes filled with concern beyond his years. Emma forced a smile, brushing his hair softly. "We're going to be just fine, sweetheart," she whispered, hiding her financial struggles from her young son. The walk to Michael's school was their daily ritual. Emma would walk him to the gates, making sure he had everything he needed. The local community knew her story, a young widow fighting to give her son a better life. Some neighbors would offer kind words, others would look with pity, but Emma maintained her dignity. At the factory, Emma's hands moved quickly, sorting and packaging goods with precision. Her supervisor, Mr. Harrison, was a stern man who rarely showed compassion, but today was different. He noticed Emma's consistent hard work and called her to his small office. "Thompson," he said, sorting through some papers, "we need someone reliable for the evening shift supervisor position. You're always on time, always focused." Emma's heart raced. A promotion could mean better pay, a chance to breathe, but life had other plans. That same evening, Michael's school called. He wasn't feeling well. Medical expenses were the last thing Emma could afford right now. Her mind raced with worry about potential doctor bills, missed work, and their already tight budget. The community. Center became her lifeline. Mrs. Williams, an elderly neighbor, offered to watch Michael when Emma needed to work. "We take care of our own," she would say, sharing homemade soup and words of encouragement. Emma's nights were spent studying. After putting Michael to bed, she would pull out worn-out nursing textbooks from a community college evening program. The dream of becoming a nurse was her beacon of hope. Every page she read was a step towards a better future for her and Michael. The town of Millbrook was small but resilient. Factory workers, fishermen, and local shopkeepers all knew the struggle of making ends meet. Emma represented their collective spirit, determined, hard-working, and unbreakable. As winter approached, their tiny apartment felt colder. Emma would wrap Michael in extra blankets, ensuring he stayed warm. Her own coat was thin and old, but she never complained. Her entire world revolved around giving her son a chance at a better life. Michael understood more than most 10-year-olds. He would help around the apartment, washing dishes, keeping things tidy. His small acts of kindness were a reminder to Emma that they were a team, fighting together against life's challenges. The distant sound of waves crashing against the shore became a soundtrack to their daily struggle. Emma would sometimes stand by the window watching the ocean, dreaming of opportunities that seemed just out of reach, but hope lived in her heart. Every challenge was an opportunity, every struggle was a lesson, and in Michael's smile she found the strength to keep moving forward. The day was ending. Another battle survived, another step towards their dreams. Emma tucked Michael into bed, kissed his forehead and whispered, "We're going to be okay, I promise." And in that moment everything felt possible. The community college stood like a beacon of hope on the edge of Millbrook, its brick walls promising opportunity to those who dared to dream. Emma's hands trembled as she filled out the evening nursing assistant program registration form. Her heart raced with a mixture of excitement and fear. Mrs. Williams had agreed to watch Michael 3 evenings a week. "Go chase your dreams," she told Emma, pressing a warm cup of tea into her hands. The elderly woman had become more than a neighbor. She was family. The first evening of classes felt like stepping into another world. Students of all ages filled the classroom. Young workers, single parents, retirees seeking new careers. Emma sat near the back, her worn notebook clutched tightly, feeling both out of place and determined. Robert Peterson, a local veteran in his early 40s, sat next to her. His kind eyes noticed her nervousness. "First time back in school?" he asked softly. Emma nodded, explaining her dream of becoming a nursing assistant. Robert shared his own story of reinvention after military service, his words gentle and encouraging. At home, Michael watched his mother's transformation. She'd spread her study materials on the kitchen table, highlighting textbooks, making careful notes. He would sit nearby doing homework, occasionally asking about her studies. "Mum's going to help people," he would tell Mrs. Williams proudly. The coursework was challenging. Anatomy diagrams, medical terminologies, and complex healthcare procedures seemed overwhelming. Emma would study late into the night after putting Michael to bed. Coffee became her constant companion, her determination burning brighter than her exhaustion. Financial struggles continued. Some weeks, Emma wondered if she could afford textbooks or transportation. The factory work became more difficult to balance, with evening classes. Her supervisor, Mr. Harrison, noticed her commitment and offered slightly flexible hours. One particularly difficult evening, Emma almost gave up. A complex medical procedure diagram seemed impossible to understand. Tears welled in her eyes as she thought about the mountain of challenges ahead. Michael found her at the kitchen table, saw her struggle, and did something unexpected. "Mum," he said, bringing her a glass of water, "you can do anything." His simple words became her motivation. Children have a way of seeing strength, where adults see only obstacles. Robert became more than a classmate. He helped Emma understand difficult medical concepts, shared study techniques, and provided emotional support. "We're in this together," he would say, photocopying notes she might have missed. The community began to notice Emma's journey. Local shopkeepers would ask about her studies, offer small encouragements. The bakery owner would sometimes slip an extra pastry for Michael, recognizing their struggle. Midway through the course, Michael fell ill. A potential respiratory infection threatened to derail everything. Medical expenses loomed like a dark cloud. But the community rallied. Mrs. Williams helped with hospital visits. Robert covered her class notes. The factory allowed emergency leave. Emma's determination became legendary in Millbrook. A single mother, working full-time, studying nursing, caring for a sick child, she embodied resilience. Her classmates looked up to her, seeing hope in her journey. The nursing assistant program wasn't just about learning medical skills, it was about transformation. Emma discovered strengths she never knew she possessed. Her confidence grew with every completed assignment, every challenging concept mastered. Michael's recovery coincided with her midterm exams, as if the universe was aligning, showing her that persistence pays off. He sat beside her during study sessions, drawing medical diagrams, asking curious questions about human anatomy. Winter turned to spring. Emma's world was changing. The tiny apartment that once felt like a limitation now felt like a launching pad for dreams. Her textbooks, once intimidating, now felt like trusted companions. Mrs. Williams would often say, "Some people wait for opportunities, others create them." Emma was creating her opportunity, one study session at a time. As another evening class ended, Emma looked at her reflection in the college window. She saw not just a struggling single mother, but a future healthcare professional. Her journey was just beginning. The road ahead was uncertain, but for the first time in years, Emma felt truly hopeful. Michael's cough started softly, almost unnoticed. By midnight, it had transformed into a deep, rattling sound that sent fear racing through Emma's heart. She placed her hand on his forehead, burning with fever. The local clinic's diagnosis was swift and terrifying. Michael needed specialized medication for a respiratory infection that had grown complicated. The doctor's words felt like heavy stones. The treatment is expensive. Without proper medication, he could develop serious complications. Emma's world stopped. Her nursing assistant studies, her factory job, everything became secondary. Her son's health was all that mattered. She remembered her late husband's medical bills, the debt that had nearly destroyed them years ago. That night she calculated their finances. The numbers didn't lie. Her current income was not enough. The medication would cost more than 2 months of her salary. Desperation crept into her heart, but she refused to let it consume her. The community center became her first hope. Margaret, the social worker, listened carefully to Emma's situation. "We might be able to help," she said, pulling out several application forms for medical assistance. Each form represented a potential lifeline. Mrs. Williams stepped in without hesitation. "I've saved some money over the years," she told Emma, pressing an envelope into her hands. The elderly woman's lifetime savings would help cover part of Michael's medical expenses. Robert from her nursing class offered support beyond emotional comfort. He knew people at the local hospital, helped Emma navigate complex medical bureaucracy, and assisted in finding alternative medication options. His veteran network also pitched in, collecting small donations. At the factory, Mr. Harrison surprised everyone. When he learned about Michael's condition, he organized a workplace collection. Colleagues who barely knew Emma contributed what they could. Some brought home-cooked meals, others offered childcare support. Emma continued her nursing studies despite the overwhelming challenges. Late-night study sessions happened beside Michael's bed. She would review medical textbooks while monitoring his temperature, turning difficulty into an opportunity for learning. The local church community heard about Michael's situation. The congregation organized a small fundraiser. Bake sales, car washes, and community events slowly accumulated funds for his treatment. Emma was overwhelmed by the unexpected kindness. Michael's spirit remained unbroken. Even during his illness, he would joke with his mother, draw pictures of him getting better, and ask about her nursing studies. "I'm going to be just like you, Mom," he would say, his smile cutting through the medical worry. Emma began selling unnecessary household items. An old television, extra kitchen appliances, unused furniture. Everything became a potential source of medical funds. Her determination knew no boundaries. Each item sold represented hope for Michael's recovery. The pharmaceutical company manufacturing Michael's medication heard about his story through Robert's veteran network. They offered a significant discount, recognizing the family's struggle. Small acts of corporate kindness can change lives. Nights became a blend of medical monitoring, studying, and working extra shifts. Emma's body was exhausted, but her spirit remained unbroken. She learned to create meal plans that were nutritious, yet affordable, to manage time with military-like precision. Michael's school was understanding. His teachers sent study materials, checked on his progress, and offered emotional support. The education system became an unexpected ally in their medical journey. Local businesses started recognizing Emma's struggle. The bakery would slip extra bread into her bag. The grocery store owner would offer discounts. The pharmacist would provide medical advice without charging consultation fees. As weeks passed, Michael's health began improving. The combination of proper medication, community support, and Emma's relentless care started showing positive results. His cough reduced, his energy returned, his spirit remained unbroken. Emma's nursing studies took on new meaning. Each medical concept she learned wasn't just academic knowledge, it was a tool to understand and fight her son's illness. Her personal challenge became her greatest educational motivation. The community of Millbrook demonstrated what true support looks like. They didn't just offer money, they offered hope, care, and genuine human connection. Emma was no longer fighting alone. As Michael's health improved, Emma realized something profound. Challenges don't define you. How you face them does. Her determination had transformed potential tragedy into a story of hope, resilience, and community love. The nursing certification exam day arrived like a turning point in Emma's life. Her hands trembled as she entered. The examination hall, years of struggle compressed into this single moment of opportunity. Michael waited outside with Mrs. Williams, wearing his lucky blue sweater. He believed in his mother more than anyone else in the world. The elderly neighbor squeezed his hand, whispering, "Your mom is going to make it." Hours passed. Emma's mind raced through medical procedures, patient care techniques, and complex healthcare protocols. Every question felt like a battle she had been preparing for her entire life. Her factory work, night studies, Michael's medical challenges, everything had led to this moment. When the results arrived, the local community center became a celebration place. Emma's name was on the certified nursing assistant list. Tears, mixed with laughter, as her colleagues from the evening class congratulated her. Robert hugged her, saying, "You did it, Emma. You truly did it." The local medical clinic needed a nursing assistant, and Emma's determination caught their attention. Mr. Harrison from the factory recommended her, praising her work ethic. During the interview, the clinic director was impressed not just by her qualifications, but by her life story. Her first official shift felt like a dream. The white uniform represented more than a job. It was a symbol of transformation. Michael visited her during lunch break, his eyes filled with pride. "My mom helps sick people," he would tell everyone who listened. Financial stability began to take shape. The nursing job paid significantly more than her factory work. For the first time, Emma could imagine saving money for Michael's future education. Small luxuries became possible: a slightly better apartment, new books for Michael, occasional treats. The community watched her journey with admiration. Local schools invited her to speak about perseverance. Single parents saw her as an inspiration, understanding that education could change life's trajectory. Her story became a beacon of hope in Millbrook. Michael's health continued improving. The medical challenges that once threatened to destroy their lives now seemed like a distant memory. Emma's nursing knowledge helped her manage his healthcare more effectively, turning potential medical risks into manageable situations. Mrs. Williams, witnessing Emma's transformation, would often say, "Some people are born strong, others become strong through challenges." Emma had definitely become strong through her journey. Her colleagues at the medical clinic respected her unique perspective. Having experienced healthcare challenges as a patient's mother, and now working as a healthcare professional, Emma brought compassion that went beyond textbook knowledge. Weekends became special family times. Emma would study advanced medical techniques, while Michael did his homework. They created a small study corner in their apartment, supporting each other's educational journeys. Robert continued being a mentor and friend. He helped Emma understand advanced medical technologies, shared veteran healthcare insights, and remained a constant support system. Their friendship represented the power of community support. The local newspaper ran a story about Emma's journey. "From factory worker to healthcare hero," the headline read. Michael cut out the article, proudly displaying it in their living room. His mother wasn't just a worker anymore. She was a community inspiration. Financial planning became another skill Emma mastered. She started a small savings account for Michael's future education, understanding that opportunities come to those who prepare. Her nursing job provided stability she had never experienced before. The transformation wasn't just professional. Emma's confidence grew. The shy, struggling single mother had become a confident healthcare professional. Her walk was different, her eyes brighter, her spirit more resilient. Millbrook itself seemed to change with Emma's journey. Other single parents began pursuing educational opportunities. The community center started offering more evening study programs. Her story became a catalyst for local change. Michael watched his mother's transformation with wonder. He understood that education could change life's entire trajectory. Her journey taught him that challenges were not roadblocks, but stepping stones. As another workday ended, Emma looked at her reflection. The tired factory worker was gone. In her place stood a certified nursing assistant, a single mother who had transformed her life through determination, education, and unwavering love. Her story was just beginning. And the best was yet to come. 5 years had passed since Emma first stepped into the nursing assistant program. Today she stood before a group of young students at the local community center, her journey etched in every word she spoke. Michael, now 15, sat in the front row, watching his mother with pride. He had become a straight-A student, inspired by her relentless pursuit of education. The small apartment that once felt like a prison of struggle now represented their triumph. Emma's presentation wasn't just about her personal story. It was a beacon of hope for single parents, struggling workers, and anyone who believed dreams were impossible. Her voice carried the weight of experience, the power of determination. Education changed everything, she told the gathering. It wasn't about the certificate, it was about believing in myself. The room fell silent, every listener capturing the depth of her words. The medical clinic where she worked had recognized her exceptional skills. Emma was now head of patient care, responsible for training new nursing assistants. Her journey from a factory worker to a respected healthcare professional seemed like a miracle to many. Mrs. Williams, now in her late 70s, watched from the back of the room. Her eyes glistened with pride. The woman who once helped Emma, by watching Michael, had become a grandmother figure to both of them. Robert, still a close family friend, had helped Michael secure a scholarship opportunity. The young boy's academic performance and Emma's inspiring story had caught the attention of local educational foundations. The community of Millbrook had transformed alongside Emma. Other single parents began pursuing education, seeing her journey as proof that change was possible. Local businesses started supporting evening study programs, creating more opportunities for working individuals. Michael's dreams were expanding. He spoke about wanting to become a doctor, inspired by his mother's healthcare journey. Emma supported his ambition, understanding that education was the most powerful inheritance she could provide. Financial stability had become their new normal. Emma had paid off previous debts, started a college savings fund for Michael, and even bought a small, second-hand car. Small victories that once seemed impossible were now everyday realities. The local newspaper did a follow-up story on Emma's journey. "From struggle to success, a Millbrook hero," read the headline. Michael cut out the article, adding it to their growing collection of memories. Emma's nursing skills had saved lives beyond the medical clinic. Her compassion, learned through personal struggles, made her more than just a healthcare worker. She became a source of hope for patients facing challenging medical situations. Her relationship with Michael had evolved. No longer just a struggling single mother, she was now a mentor, a friend, a guide. They would spend evenings discussing his studies, sharing dreams, planning futures. The community center where Emma first registered for her nursing program now used her story in motivational presentations. Young people would listen, understanding that limitations were often self-imposed. Mrs. Williams's savings, once used to help with Michael's medical expenses, had been carefully returned. The elderly woman refused the money, saying, "Seeing you both succeed is my greatest reward." Emma's journey taught valuable lessons. Success wasn't about perfection, it was about perseverance, about getting up every time life knocked you down. Her story proved that with determination, support, and education, anything was possible. Michael's academic achievements became another testament to their journey. Scholarships, academic awards, community recognition. He was walking the path his mother had paved with her sacrifices. The factory where Emma once worked became a distant memory. Her current colleagues respected her not just for her professional skills, but for her incredible life story. She represented hope, transformation, resilience. As the presentation ended, students approached Emma. Young single parents, struggling workers, dreamers, all sought her advice, her inspiration. She listened to each story, offering hope, sharing wisdom. Michael hugged his mother, whispering, "I'm so proud of you." Those simple words encapsulated their entire journey, a story of love, struggle, and ultimate triumph. The room filled with applause. But for Emma, the real victory was not in the recognition, but in the lives she had touched, the hope she had spread. Her spirit had not just survived, it had conquered.